32 couples tied their knots in style in the world's famous underwater wedding ceremony in Thailand's Trang province recently. In the past 17 years, 482 pairs of brides and grooms got married in the annual event, which was awarded the largest underwater ceremony by the Guinness Book of Records in 2000. This year, there are 27 Thai couples and 5 others from Australia, China, France, the UAE, and the UK. Trang Governor Somsak Parisuto Himtanon, officials and students welcomed the couples arriving at Trang Airport to join the 18th Trang underwater wedding ceremony. Customs and festive ceremonies have been themed in accordance with traditional Thai wedding style. Ceremonies of the Thai wedding including Khan Mark, procession, and Rod Namsung, which is a pouring of holy water over the hands of the bride and groom. 6 couples opt to dive down to say their vows and actually doing the paperwork underwater at Kradan Island. Others who have no diving skill will only observe from the beach. This marriage ceremony began in 1996 in the province of Trang as a promotion by the Department of Tourism as part of a green awareness program called Returning the Natural Beauty to Coral Reef. Carried on yearly for a 3-day period at the time of St. Valentine's Day, it later appeared and appealed to a fairly large number of prospective newlyweds, particularly those with strong connections to scuba diving, and has grown in popularity over the years. Thai and Lao people joined a cycling event in Loei, province of Thailand recently. The activity is aimed to boost bilateral relations and raise public awareness of the merits of bicycles and exercise. Loei Governor Wirot Jibarangsan launched the Tour de Chiang 2014 event. Participating cyclists started at the Loei River and paddled 80 kilometers long to the Mekong River. The event attracted more than 700 cyclists from Loei and other provinces in Thailand and about 100 cyclists from Laos. It is aimed at presenting the benefits of exercise and the value of bicycles to people and families. Organizers hope the popularity of bicycles will help relieve traffic congestion and save energy. They also intend to promote Loei province to be a province of bicycles and boost Thai-Lao relations. An Islamic clothing development project is launched in southern Thailand to promote rural development and craft skill. Thailand Textile Institute Director Sithin Popaka said the institute hoped to pass on knowledge and techniques on design, packaging and quality development to Muslims. The program covers areas of 5 Muslim majorities, southern province of Narathiwat, Patani, Satun, Songkhla and Yala. The program will help strengthen community enterprise, promote innovative and skill development in the grassroots industry. Sithin said this at a press conference in Bangkok. The core principle of the program is to empower local people to use rural wisdoms and unique materials to create or even add value to products. She gave examples of sunflower and plant abundant in localities that can be used for cloth dyeing. Sithin said local textiles and unique identity can thrive in international markets, particularly ASEAN, Japan, the Middle East, the European Union and the US. Besides helping hone to skills, the program will also issue certifications for the products that meet industrial standards. With 2.8 billion Muslims in the world, Islamic clothing market is estimated at $96 billion in value. In the first phase, the program is focused on ASEAN countries, which have a combined Muslim population of 264 million. Brunei Darussalam has identified the marine sector as a potential area for economic diversification. It wants to produce maritime professionals and local seafarers approved and recognized by the International Maritime Organization. The Brunei Maritime Academy, BMA, which will be established in the country, will help make this a reality. The Minister of Education, Awang Abubakar, said the BMA is set to become one of the centers of excellences that would help spur technical education transformation, one of the 3 pillars of the national education system for the 21st century. The service agreement for the establishment of the Brunei Maritime Academy was signed between the Department of Technical Education, Ministry of Education and Singapore Maritime Academy, SMA, of Singapore Polytechnic International recently. The SMA will be assisting the Ministry of Education in establishing the Brunei Maritime Academy that will offer a range of competency-based qualifications training for the maritime industry. The assistance provided by SMA includes building training capability and the establishment of an academic quality assurance system in accordance with the standards for quality in maritime education and training. Menswear collections are taking center stage on the catwalks of London. Much of the fashion Seoul High Street in the West is made in Asian countries like Cambodia, with thousands of Cambodians working in factories to produce clothes for export around the world. Now, a small Phnom Penh-based fashion label is trying to change that by designing and manufacturing original clothing aimed at the country's newly fashion-conscious middle class. French designer Jean-Benoit Lesceline is kitting out fashion models with some of his latest creations. He founded the Colorblind label in Cambodia in 2011 with the idea of combining classic Western tailored elegance with a strong Asian influence. The name itself has significance as Lesceline himself is colorblind. He says his creations are the result of his different and unique perception of colors. Lesceline moved to Cambodia from Paris in 2008 and began designing and manufacturing clothes for himself and his friends as a hobby. Word of mouth spread among the city's fashionable set, and before long, orders for new suits began to pile up. Lesceline realized there was a gap in the market and founded Colorblind, teaming up with Latvian fashion photographer Petris Tenisens as head of branding. The business is run out of this small office in a quiet suburb of Phnom Penh. Lesceline has just finished work on his first full collection, which he is calling Introducing Colorblind. He thinks Cambodia's fashion market is ripe and ready for his creation, as image is very important in Asia. Lesceline thinks that the local market is today ready for more creative and refined collections. His grandmother was Vietnamese, and he was raised with a strong Asian influence that he expresses with color. Cotton and linen are the fabrics of choice, and the suits often feature short pants or miniskirts suitable for Cambodia's tropical climate. Colorblind's goal is to put Phnom Penh on the fashion map and introduce the concept of fashion to a people long more concerned with simple survival. With the country's economy growing at over 7% per year and the middle class swelling, interest in fashion is on the rise. But according to Lesceline, while the Cambodia's fashion scene has great growth potential, there is lack of support at an official level. Despite the challenges, Colorblind is continuing to gain recognition, helped by some valuable exposure. That includes designing official uniforms for the Cambodian Davis Cup tennis team. Petris Tenisens, freelance photographer and director of branding at Colorblind, has been photographing the Cambodian fashion scene for more than 5 years.
I see a lot of brands here disappearing after half a year. People get bored and somebody new comes in. So you really got to work on consistent quality, just as good as back home internationally. You cannot fake it, otherwise people forget you.
While the goal right now is to become one of the best Cambodian brands, Colorblind is also setting its sights further afield. At the moment, their client base is increasing via word of mouth and through their website. They also have financial support from an emerging market investment fund. Eventually, introducing Colorblind hopes to export its designs, giving people internationally the chance to get their hands on clothes designed and created in Cambodia. Malaysia's commercial satellite operator, Miasat Global Berhad, will be sending its 6th satellite to space in May, a move that could improve data services, especially to rural areas in Malaysia. The $370 million or 1.25 billion ringgit Miasat 3B project will also serve other markets in the region, including Brunei, Indonesia, India and Australia. The satellite has already been built and is now in storage in France until its planned launch from the European spaceport in French Guiana. Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Minister Ahmad Sabri Sheikh, who visited the Miasat Teleport and Broadcast Centre in Cyberjaya recently, said he is awed by Miasat's investment program in upgrading Malaysia's capability in the high technology satellite sector. The country currently has a 67% broadband penetration in its population of about 28 million people, and it relies mostly on terrestrial, wireless, 3G or fiber optic systems. The government plans to provide greater broadband speed to the public in line with its goal to improve the country's ICT infrastructure. It's forecast that 10 to 20% of the broadband capacity will be aided through satellite. At the same event, Ahmad Sabri also launched a book published as part as Miasat's corporate social responsibility in helping the country produce more technology experts among Malaysians. Miasat currently operates 5 satellites in orbit since the launch of the Miasat 2 in 1996. The current Miasat 5 satellite provides a broadband capacity of 3 gigabytes to the country. It is also used by telecommunication operators to support various government ICT programs, including the Community Broadband Centre, Community Broadband Library and Wireless Village.
And we're also planning now the next generation of spacecraft, which will look to increase the amount of broadband capacity we can deliver to Malaysia. Today it's 3 gigabits. We're now looking at systems to deliver 60 to 90 gigabits of capacity to bring that broadband connectivity to the whole of Malaysia.
Another satellite, the Miasat 3C, is expected to be launched next year. Today, Miasat provides satellite communication services to over 150 countries across the Asia Pacific, the Middle East, Africa, Europe and Australia. Billions in deals have already been seen as the Singapore Airshow's trade portion early this week. Budget carrier Vietjet Air placed an order for 63 Airbus A320 jets with additional options worth $6.4 billion. Other firms like Turkish Airlines announced a $560 million order for engines to power 25 of its new planes. Flying high on day one of the Singapore Airshow 2014 is Indonesia's Jupiter aerobatic team, among other aerial displays. And kicking off the event officially were Defence Minister Ng Hin and Transport Minister Louis Tak Yew. The deals are coming in fast, with low-cost airline Vietjet Air making one of the first moves with major player Airbus.
Signing a contract of up to 100 aircraft, A320, CEO and NEO. 63 firm, 7 will be leased, and 30 additional options.
The aircraft manufacturer also showed off its A350 XWB's prowess at its maiden airshow flying display. But it's not just about the big boys. Smaller firms like Premier is making its debut at the Singapore Airshow. The firm hopes to use it as a platform to engage clients for its private jet charter services. Event organizers don't expect total deals to hit the $200 billion mark seen at the Dubai Airshow, but are optimistic that the Asia-Pacific's aviation growth prospects will pull in a tidy amount. The Singapore Airshow is one of the world's top air shows and will run until Sunday, 16 February.